At Roller Derby Athletics, we take the guesswork out of off-skate training so you can focus on being fierce. We help you transform your game without a lot of time or equipment. With 5 training programs plus all-star memberships, there's an option to suit every athlete. And we train skaters worldwide with high-quality video instruction and online support. At Roller Derby Athletics, we empower you to be safe, strong, and unstoppable. Want to see for yourself? Sign up today for our free Basics Builder program.
Hi, Ivana Spankin and Trish the Dish here to tell you about Sin City Skates. Sin City Skates began in our living room in 2005 and has since grown into this 2,000 square foot warehouse and showroom where we stock everything for derby. If it's derby related, we probably have it. Need help? With a combined on-track derby experience of over 24 years and still playing, we test everything we sell and we know the difference between facts and our opinions. We're always happy to share both with you to help you make the right decisions. So call us, SinCitySkates.com.
I love teamwork when it comes naturally, and it's almost like your teammate is an extension of your own body. That anticipation, where you've worked cerebrally through strategy and skills, and suddenly you're out there in a game and it all comes naturally because you know each other. I love that.
So when I first went into Fast Girl Skates, it was like being a kid in a candy shop.
I skate on the Antic AR1 boot with Crazy Venus plates and Adam D-Rod wheels.
As I've grown as a skater, Fast Girl has also helped my skates to grow with me.
What's your favorite thing that you got at the store?
Probably my gear.
I'm Double Megs and I'm a Fast Girl.
I'm Vex Factor and I'm a Fast Girl.
I'm a Salted Peanut and I'm a Fast Girl.
I'm Afro Jamma and I'm a Fast Girl.
You can be a Fast Girl too.
Skaters, lost your mouth guard? Hit this. Time for an upgrade? Hit this. New to Derby and not sure where to start? Hit this. We are Derby owned and operated with 6 years of experience. Hit This Derby Gear can hook you up with skates, gear, and honest advice based on your skating style and individual needs. Visit us at our store in Salem, Oregon, or online at www.hitthisderbygear.com. Whether you are a new or veteran skater, before you hit the track, hit this.
Hi, I'm Trish the Dish, and this is Ivana Spankin, and we're here to tell you about Sin City Skates. Sin City Skates began in our Las Vegas living room in 2005, the first shop ever dedicated to roller derby, and has since grown into this 2,000 square foot mecca in San Diego, where we stock everything for our sport. Need help? With a combined on-track experience of over 24 years and still playing, we test everything we sell, and we're happy to share that experience and knowledge with you. So contact us, SinCitySkates.com.
Hi folks, Scald Eagle here. Have you had a chance to take a look at the new Bonk Quadstar skate? The boots are ultra lightweight with no break-in period and are great for skaters with skinnier ankles. They also have a 100% Australian full-grain leather outer and a completely heat-moldable hand-laid fiberglass base. Get that premium performance without the premium price tag. Boom. Come over to the Bonk booth right now and check out this rad new skate.
clear path through the pack almost never exists. So we fight and make our own.
Check, check. Test, test.
Can anyone hear us?
Is
there anyone here?
All 8 people in the stands that aren't watching the Rose game. Yeah,
Diz
there's
is here.
Deb, photographer.
Deb is into it, man. In case you're wondering, current
I
score.
heard the Vancouver Murder was actually going to go watch the game and not even come up to the, but they're here.
They saw the light. They knew that we'd give them a score once in a while.
It was rough. The coach had to go find most of them over there watching the game, from what I understand.
Does anyone want score updates, or are you all DVRing the game to watch it later? All right, that got no reaction. Excellent.
Okay, so that's we got time to Derby says 8 seconds. Let's see. I'm not seeing this one starting on time. Maybe it will.
I don't know. There's handshakes all around.
We are on ESPN Ocho. If you guys didn't know, that is actually Chicken here. Is actually going to record this on his phone and put it up on ESPN
We're going to
Ocho.
periscope the whole thing.
Along with dodgeball, followed by dodgeball.
Only the finest sports on the Ocho. Mr. Testosterone jamming for the murder.
I can't even hear you. It's great.
Someone can hear me somewhere. Firewally set to jam for
yes,
the Twin City
set to
Terries.
jam against Mr. Testosterone.
And Firewally extinguished to the outside and recycles back. Mr. Testosterone pumps it through the front and is out lead jammer Vancouver Murder.
Vancouver Murder having some awesome defense this tournament. Watching them yesterday playing against the, I can't even remember who it was. I called it, but my brain is just tired.
Was it Lane County, perhaps?
There you go. Playing against Lane County, their defense, the water falling. You'll notice that they stick in pairs on the side, and one guy engages the jammer, and then the next one just takes the spot as they move.
Mr. Testosterone through for a first 5-point pass, follows it up with a second 10-0. Vancouver Murder, Firewally. Now with the star off the helmet. And passes it off to number 66, Titchburn. Or perhaps Sampson. Maybe I should look at the right list. That would help, wouldn't it?
Well, you know.
They both had 66s on it.
Whoa, the fans are going crazy. The fans are going crazy out there. All 4 of them.
And speaking of 4 more points for the Murder. Takes them to 14-0.
And up next on the line, we got Lodge going up against Derby Monster. Derby Monster was a big jammer yesterday. when I saw them play against San Diego. Got quite a few of the points for the team. And probably hoping to do the same thing today against Vancouver. Most of Vancouver's team, or lots of them, are on Team Canada. So it's if you're watching this, it's a chance to look at the skills and skill levels that have gone with the Team Canada team in Vancouver. But the skill of cutting the track, unfortunately, is one that Lodge will take to the penalty box with him as he sits down and loses out. I don't believe we had a lead jammer.
Not yet, as neither jammer has emerged the pack. Derby Monster pushing, and breaks free. Lead jammer Derby Monster, the Twin Cities Terrors.
Svensson, solid hitter out there, and picked up quite a few penalties the other day because of his aggressive blocking skills, but an efficient blocker as it is.
Efficient, yes. Derby Monster efficiently blocked to the outside one way and then to the inside the other. As Lodge back in from the penalty box. And a cut track assist to Derby Monster. So we will go for another 36 seconds of this jam, and the power jam swinging in the way of the Vancouver Murder.
Derby Monster not starting the penalty until he sits down, so he actually has more time than was left on the clock when he sat down on the penalty bench.
That he does. So power start will come the Murder's way in the next jam. 19-0 with a 5-point pass. The second 5 takes us to 24 points. I had to wait for the number. I'm like, I think I can add 9 and 5, but
nice
I'm not
try, Lodge.
sure.
Lodge trying to call off the jam, then realizing that, of course, there was no lead given, and he had served a penalty.
And besides, he wanted those other 2 points, but 4 up for the Twin City Terrors puts them on the board 26-4.
And as predicted, Derby Monster is standing up in the penalty box. They will have a power start. Kremli Boudica out there on the line. And he's pushing through. Of course, jammer out of the penalty box. That puts both jammers on the track. Lead going to Boudica. Derby Monster bouncing a hit from Zimmer and getting out of the pack as Boudica makes his way in and jumps the apex, calls off the jam.
Nice work, takes the Murder to 30-4 lead. Hey, don't forget to get your raffle ticket. Our raffle got all sorts of prizes. The grand prize package is a Mont Quadscar skate package with FX1 wheels valued at $319. There is also a bunch of stuff from a bunch of other vendors, all of it over on the table in between tracks 2 and 3.
Little known fact, I won a $200 Sin City Skates gift certificate last year at the raffle and got to enhance my Derby wheel collection at RollerCon because Sin City Skates was there.
Very nice.
Speaking of RollerCon.
Yes, RollerCon also.
We have a RollerCon promo in here, which we've already done certainly sometime today.
I'm sure we have. It's under. It's on that page over there. RollerCon.
But who doesn't know about RollerCon, right? Go to RollerCon. I'll see you there.
You won't see me there. My travel budget's shot by going to Nebraska. How exciting is that?
Nebraska sounds fun. Ooh. On the line, Mimero going up against 404 Fire Wally once again. Mimero's first time out with the star for Vancouver.
Vancouver has had lead 2 of the 3 jams done and make that 3 out of 4. As Mimero with lead jammer. Fire Wally almost clear.
Oh, Walker getting a hit up on Fire Wally, popping him out. That little leg just dangling, and he has to recycle back as Mimero makes his way through the pack, picks up 5 points.
Oh, and Walker this time with the Texas elbow. picks up the penalty, heads to the box, but still a shutout, 5-0, 35-4.
Mimero probably could have taken another chance at the pack on that one, as Firewally was still locked in on his initial pass. And Mr. Testosterone is out on the line against Merlin, starting it off with a little bit of a high five. You know, camaraderie is a big thing in MRDA. A lot of these guys know each other. They'll head out to the bar after and hang out and dance at the 80s dance party this evening, no doubt.
Excellent.
And Testosterone, no surprise, out of the pack with lead. He is fancy on his feet, and look at that beard.
And trying to go across the middle, but bumped to the ground and having to recycle all the way back. Zimmer, meanwhile, rolling Merlin back as well. As Mr. Testosterone emerges the front of the pack with 5 points.
Tischborn heading to the penalty box. Testosterone dancing the outside line, staying in. I had the pleasure of practicing with him last week in Calgary. He was visiting, and he is fancy on those feet. Let me tell you, he knows where that line is every time he gets near it.
And fancy on the hands as well, the little crawl maneuver to stay on his feet and not end up on his stomach. Kept him moving forward. Meanwhile, Merlin bumped to the outside again. Still working on that initial pass as Mr. Testosterone threw for another 5, taking him to 15 on the jam.
Zimmer out there by himself on the track, slowing down Merlin. As Testosterone pops through again for another 4, correction.
And Tischborn coming in there right at the end to give a little defensive assistance. Mr. Testosterone taking it easy.
Testosterone waiting, looking at the penalty box where he's got 2 of his friends.
There you go. Kill
and he's going to kill the
time.
penalty that way. He'll sacrifice 4 points to get those guys out of the box. Have a stronger start on the next jam is what I suspect.
Indeed, and manages to not give up any points. As Merlin not back up to the back, her pack was moving ahead. 23-point jam. Vancouver Murder up by 50, 58-8. Speaking of the after party, tonight at 8 o'clock at the Washington Jefferson Skate Park is the big old bowl jam. So come get your skates. Come out there.
I said I'm heading there earlier. I was mentioning that I was heading out there with the girlfriend tonight. Should be fun to watch some good bowl skating.
Should be, and that is followed at 10 by the 80s dance party.
Then we get the dance.
Not with the skates, though.
No, well, no, not in the arcade, from what I understand. Lodge out on the track with lead for Vancouver, coming around for a scoring pass.
That's the 4th straight lead jammer for Vancouver Murder. And Derby Monster jamming for Twin Cities is out as well.
And excellent situational awareness. Lodge calling off the jam and thanking his blocking crew for helping him through.
All right, so that dance party, 80s dance party tonight at Blair Alley Arcade. No cover charge, 245 Blair Boulevard. It's just steps away from the big old bowl jam.
Well, that's going to work out.
So
I guess we're going to have to plan our outfits.
Yes.
And do and head over there all nice and sweaty after bowl jamming.
Or bring sort of a tent and you can change in that.
Or just change in one of the bowls.
That's true.
You know.
Why not?
This is Oregon, isn't it? Aren't they kind of free in here?
Sure.
Chill. Everybody's at the football game anyway, right?
Kremli G. Budakra jamming for Vancouver Murder. Firewally for the Twin Cities Terrors. A
great attempt by Smash to get a drawback on Budakra, but unable to pick up the cut. And Budakra still pushing to the front. Neither one having picked up lead yet. We're still fighting for it.
Yeah, no one out yet. Stand to slide. Tried to get Budakra out early, went to his knee, but this time manages to
look at that
get back to the front and hold on. Low block penalty sending Bennett to the penalty box.
Oh, here goes Firewally. Last line of defense finally out of the pack, and he picks up lead for Minnesota. Oof. Oh, ow. Oh, ow.
That is quality commentary, G.I. Jones. Oh, ow.
I watched Zimmer fall on Boudicca's ankles, and I was positive that he had crushed them. But that wasn't the case. Boudicca getting up and just persisting. And actually, in fact, handing off his star. And we have a star pass. Stand aside with the star is going to take over. And the jam is called as 5 points go up on the board for Twin Cities Terrors, shutting out the Vancouver Murder on that jam.
Yes, and putting up 10 on the board for a 61-18 run. Also picking up their first lead jam since the second jam of the game. As we're down to 18 and a half minutes in the first half. 61-18, Vancouver Murder in the lead.
And Mimero on the line, going up against Merlin once again. And Mimero fast on his feet, right into the pack, not giving them a chance to get ready, and just jumping all over the place. Backlock being called on number 308. That's Carl Marksman. He's going to head to the penalty box for Minnesota. No lead to Mimero as he made his way out and got a no pass, no penalty. So that leaves lead open for Merlin, should he be able to get through the pack.
Svensson has a few words to say about that attempt. Merlin checking the toes. Are they out of bounds? Yes. Yes, they are. We'll back up around. And with that, lead jammer now off the table as Merlin has popped the helmet off. 5 points up for Mimero. And we will be going the full 2 minutes. And Merlin will be heading to the box to sit for 30 seconds for the cut track.
And that will make it with no lead for this jam. This jam will go the full 2 minutes, 1 minute left in it. I want to guess it was a return to track.
Merlin back on the track and now through. Has the star back on his helmet. Again, no lead jammer. We got 38 seconds to go. As Mimero hops over the corner but lands it out of bounds, backs up. Merlin bumped to the outside and also recycling back. Vancouver Murder currently sitting on a 15-point jam for Mimero. Sees the gap on the end, runs through it. Svensson throws the heavy shoulder.
He throws those heavy shoulders.
Barrett Von Beans felt the full brunt of that.
Svensson's shoulder. It gets thrown quite heavily. Bam. Some solid MRDA hitting happening out there.
Yes, indeed.
Judging by the gasps and the
when you can hear it all the way over here, you know that's a hard shot. Carl Marksman back up on his feet and over to the bench.
Good. And on the jam line, we've got Mr. Testosterone and Derby Monster once again. I'm going to get out there and do this. If I'm not mistaken, his last couple times out, Mr. T has gotten lead. He's going to try for it again this time, and he does.
That he does, popping through. Meanwhile, Derby Monster still stuck at the top of turn 2.
Oh.
Big pile up in the middle, but Mr. Testosterone lowers the shoulder and grabs the 5.
A lost helmet out on the track. Zimmer getting hit hard enough to lose his helmet. That's what I'm talking about when I say MRDA hitting. Mr. T with 3 blockers left to contend with, pushing his way through the Minnesota defense. Zimmer looks like he's got no luck with that helmet. Something must have broke on it. Not quite sure who it is. It might be Carl Marksman again. 308, no? He's up. 81, 31. Jam it dim. Getting his bell rung. Talking to the medical staff.
Good time to give a nice shout out thank you to our medical staff.
Zimmer.
All of them volunteering and doing a wonderful job this weekend. I will make sure that Jamit Dim is all right before returning him to the track.
Not used to hearing yelling from them.
And the referees discussing a bit, perhaps figuring out what song they're going to request at the 80s dance party.
Yes, definitely. Obviously, we're all the way on the other side of the track. I didn't really see what the hit was. I don't know if you caught it.
No, I didn't. I just saw him go flying, and that was the end.
And he laid right on the inside of that line, that ref lane. And then it got blown down due to injury. So definitely Jamit will be off for 3. Doesn't look like any penalties have been assessed on that. And Derby Monster is in the box still.
Lodge will be starting on the power start for the Vancouver Murder. Murder leading 92-21. And for those of you not watching ESPN3, where we have our Victoria versus Rose City game, current score with I think 40 seconds to go in the first half. Victoria leading 85-53.
Just looking at that, yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out how much time is left.
The clock is confusing me.
That darn ESPN3 clock. It's okay, all the cool people are here watching MRDA.
That's right.
There we go.
Disruptive Photography's watching. And speaking of photography, thank you to all of our photographers. There are a whole bunch of them, and a big shout out to Steve Sharky Mancini for corralling all of the lenses and getting them pointed in the right direction.
Lodge on the line with the star for Vancouver. He takes off and into the pack. And will obtain lead for Vancouver as Derby Monster is ready to hit the track and get back out and get some points.
He's eager.
He is ready to roll.
Chomping at the bit, as they say, or
Lodge
champing.
Pops through and picks up 5.
5 points taking Vancouver to 97, now leading 97-21 as Derby Monster back engaged, but bumped to the outside and Lodge through for 4. Twin City Terrors setting up to the back as Vancouver again, as you said, water falling forward, slowing down. Derby Monster finally clear the back on his initial pass.
And
multiplayer blocks and smash to the penalty box.
Hug it out, guys. Hug it out. Derby Monster getting caught by his partner in crime, Karl Marksman. And it was an awkwardly long catch.
It was, you know, it was friendly.
It was, I think he whispered something into his ear. I don't know what it was. He was like, please don't make me jam again. I don't know. And on the line, we got Fire Wally once again going up against Boudicca. Kremley and Zimmer to the penalty box. Breaking that pack, and Bennett, not being aware of that, got outrun by Wally as he was recycling him to the back, and Kremley is through the pack with lead for Vancouver. And Kremley pushing that blocking pair to its limit and picking up 5 points as he gets through and has to be released.
And a star pass for the Tri-City Terrors.
I was going to say, judging by the way they're aggressively attacking that pivot, he must have something in his hands.
Usually a good sign when everybody jumps on the pivot. Sampson able to clear the pack but not pick up any points. 108-21 with 12 minutes and 15 seconds to go in our first half.
And that's there's an official review over in Victoria Rose City at the end of the first half.
Of course there is. Why would you stop a half without an official review at the end?
And we've got an official timeout on our track here at track 2, where all the real excitement is happening.
Meanwhile, on track 3, I have no idea what's going on over there.
I see a score. If I stand up, I think I can see it. It's 104 to 96. Oh, hey there, folks over at track 3. We can hear you. They got cowbells over there. You know what that means? That means Rocky Mountain is playing over there. They all have cowboy hats and cowbells.
All right. And they've got a fever, and the only prescription, more cowbell. We'll throw out the reminder, although I think people have been pretty good about it today. If you are on skates and you're heading out to use the restroom, make sure you stay on the carpets, no skates on the tile or brick or whatever that floor is. I heard someone refer to it as cobblestone yesterday.
Yes. What I find really cool, you're mentioning the bathrooms. And you know how everything's going down in the world these days with washrooms. I love to see the fact that we've got some gender-neutral washrooms. And funny enough, you haven't heard a single incident with anybody this weekend.
Not at all.
Just goes to, wow,
mind blown.
mind blown.
Restroom the last couple of seasons, I think.
Yeah,
years that I've come.
It was like that last year, and it's been like that before. I just think the roller derby community is such an amazing community, and we don't even have to worry about that kind of stuff sometimes. And we're ahead of the world when it comes to acceptance and stuff like that, and that's a great part of roller derby.
Hey, here's some fun stats. See, I just have to say fun stats, and the
as soon as we
NSOs
say fun,
are like, no.
Then the head ref's like, no, we're going to start this.
We're going back to roller derby.
Okay, on the line, Mimero going up against Derby Monster. It looks like there's 2 blockers in the penalty box for Minnesota and 1 in there for Vancouver. And Walker just jumping and bumping out Derby Monster and recycling him back and reforming with his fellow blockers.
And Mimero jukes around the outside, and he is through and is your lead jammer.
Oh, okay. It doesn't matter. And quickly enough, 2 new jammers out on the track, Mr. Testosterone and Fire Wally. Mr. T, if I look quickly, has pretty much taken lead every time he's been out today. Fire Wally, not as successful, only 1 lead on his last few jams. And Mr. T using his partners to launch off of them as he grabs their back. That's the thing. You can use your teammates' shirts to stay in bounds, and he did. Oh! He got a shoulder to the face. He should have gotten a penalty.
And
5 up in the sky for Mr. T as he passes through the pack.
Heavy-duty shoulder check for Mr. Testosterone on that entry into the pack, and this time Minnesota returns the favor and knocks him down into the outside.
Oh.
And again, shoulder to shoulder.
And a cutting the track penalty being assessed to Fire Wally. If you're going to present your front to Mr. T, he will take advantage of it. It is a legal hitting zone.
He will indeed. Fire Wally holding the star in his hand as he goes to the box. And Mr. Testosterone again through for 5 more calls off the jam. Vancouver Murder now 131. Twin City Terrors 21.
Whoa. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Matt, yes. Well, but you already said yes. I don't know. Whatever. I have no problem in calling this on myself. I can tell myself jokes all day long. Okay, to the track, we've got Lodge with the star on for Vancouver. Of course, no jammer out there for Minnesota because Fire Wally is in the penalty box serving that last jam's penalty.
Doing his time. Lodge is clear and is your lead jammer. as Payne Threatsky heads to the penalty box, thinning down the Vancouver pack to 3.
Lodge dancing and swerving and leading backwards.
Bump to the outside and has to recycle back, but Carl Marksman flagged with the penalty and heads to the penalty box and chooses to go the long way around.
Looks like we've got a star pass with Smalls taking the star on his helmet for the first time today. He jammed a couple last game I called, so we should start seeing him more and more into the rotation, warming up his feet. And again, Slammerai Jack, first time out today for him, and he's going to go up against Kremley on this next jam.
And 3-on-3 in the pack, each team with one sitting in the penalty box. Although Payne Threatsky itching to come out. As Budakra looking to the outside and clear lead jammer, Vancouver. 7th straight jam they have held lead as they've stretched this lead out. 136 to 21, 115-point lead now.
Bennett knocking out Slammerai Jack and recycling him. Slammerai now engaging the blocking pack of Vancouver. Getting a little help from a friend, some offense from his Minnesota team, and he manages to sneak through. He's up at the front, and Vancouver quickly reforms at the front to reestablish the pack that they had at the back.
Great work by Vancouver again, as you mentioned earlier, just cycling to the front, waterfalling up.
And a cutting going to Slammerai Jack, and if I'm not mistaken, in his hand, he does have the star.
He is holding the star, and that's going to be a lot of a low block.
And Kremley taking a back lock.
It was going to be one of the two.
Back or low, but he's heading to the penalty box. We're going to have a jammer swap, and we're going to put Slammerai Jack back on the track on this power jam for Minnesota. The first one, I believe, for them this game.
Yes, I believe so. I think they may have had one in the second jam, but it was one of both jammers getting penalties jams. So a short catch and release penalty.
So we have no lead on this jam, and not too long left in it for both jammers to try to pick up some points. I believe we're still on initial for Slammerai Jack should he get out.
I believe so. And he was pushing to the front, but again, knocked to the ground at the top of the turn. As time runs out on the jam, Kremley puts up 2 more points, a 12-point jam, 148 to 21.
Mimo and Derby Monster out there.
Derby Monster pushing to the front, almost through Twin City Terrors, swarming around Mamero. Oh, and Derby Monster pushed to the inside just enough, had to roll back behind the whole pack.
Whoa.
And that's Mamero almost clear, but the foot rolls over the line. Track is cut. Power jam for the Twin Cities Terrors.
No lead was given, so that lead is still once again open for Derby Monster to take.
It is. Mamero was on the initial pass when he came out and got that cut.
I can barely hear what we're saying with all the action happening over on track 3.
There is some noise going on over there.
Don't change your feed, though.
No,
stay on
stay
track
here.
2.
Track 2 is where it's at.
But just saying, something's going down on track 3.
But a lead jam for Derby Monster.
And he's coming around for a scoring pass. Managing to pass a couple of the players. Gordon Walker having a tough time at the back trying to get through that Minnesota wall. He's just bouncing them all over the place as Romero comes in and gets knocked out of bounds.
So a 3-0 run, Twin City Terrors breaking a long drought of scoring now at 24 to 148.
And Merlin's going to make his way to the track and line up and get ready. Oh, Looks like we've got an official review. I'm going to head down with the wireless and see what it is.
Please do. And while G.I. Jones heads down there with that info, I'm going to thank the fine folks at Tybach Productions Services for filming and live streaming this event. They're helping us bring you tracks 2 and 3. They're probably chipping in on the ESPN as well, but for now, we'll leave them alone.
Okay, the official review being requested is by Vancouver. They're requesting a non-call on a forearm that they say happened from the black jammer on, coincidentally enough, red 1-2 in the back with a forearm that was not called on the straightaway here on that last scoring pass.
Well, it's convenient that he was out there already as the captain.
So he has first-hand knowledge of the incident. We'll see what happens after the official review. The cheer there was quite interesting, and the reaction by the Minnesota skaters was equally as interesting. And here we have an answer back on the official review. So the decision is a no call. There was no impact. The initial hit was the shoulder, and then the arm kind of went after the fact. So the motion was already initiated before any forearm could take any effect. Therefore, no call.
All right, the old after-the-fact forearm. And that will take us to 4 minutes to go in the first half. Vancouver Murder leading 148-24. And the Murder have used their official review for this half. Murder sending out Mr. Testosterone to the line. He will jam against Fire Wally. I'm sorry, that's not Fire Wally. What am I thinking? It's Merlin. I'm like looking at the wrong number on the list.
Mr. T taking his time before he decides to initiate his advance. And he gets a high block.
Yes, believe that was the high block.
And he's going to head to the penalty box for his first penalty of the game. Meanwhile, Merlin getting knocked out, recycled, and making his way back in, going up against Bennett. A little one-on-one, which seems nice and innocent until you get into the rest of the pack at the front, which is where he is now.
Exactly. The one guy, that's not so hard. It's the other three that you have to deal with.
Yep. Boom.
Oh, and a nice combination blow to knock Merlin out of bounds and on his back.
Tischborn getting an elbowing penalty. He's going to head to the penalty box as Testosterone is back in and on fire, takes the apex jump. Gets right through on his initial.
Not lead jammer, of course, because of the penalty that is still available should Merlin make it through the pack, and the Murder defense doing all they can to keep that from happening. And now Merlin has the cover off of his head.
And a forearm assessed on Paul of Duty as Mr. T makes his way through and out of the pack for 5 points. Lead still open. Not anymore. We've had ourselves a star pass.
Indeed we have. That is number 66. Samson with the star.
Has taken the star off from Merlin and has made his way around on the initial. Of course, no lead on this. Mr. T threw for 4. He's going to make his way into the pack. Might as well. Can't call it off.
Exactly, and time was running out on the jam anyway, so they both might as well grab some points while they can. 5 points up for Mr. Testosterone. I see 2 fingers up for the Twin City Terrors. And that will take us to 162-26.
And Bennett heading to the penalty box on a last-second penalty there. You put Lodge out on the track with the star. Fire Wally out there, number 404 for Minnesota. Oh, yeah. Back lock on Lodge as he engages number 609, Baron von Beans, and heads to the penalty box, and he's told to skate around.
Yes, he had just passed that point of no return, I think, and tried to cut back whilst inbounds. And that's no good.
So lead still open, waiting for it to be put into Fire Wally's hands, but Gordon Walker's not going to let that happen easily. And there you go, Fire Wally finally popping through and out of the pack after all that hard work.
Payne Threatsky rolling up, trying to knock him out for the final time, but not able to.
And Fire Wally into the pack, getting locked down once again and knocked out by Gordon Walker, number 12 for Vancouver. He's a lightweight, but he hits like a heavyweight.
Fire Wally almost looking disgusted that had actually happened. Or maybe it was just disappointed, like, I have to go through this again? 3 points up for the Twin City Terrors. Take them to 29. Vancouver Murder at 162 as time ticks down on the first half.
Second half already started. Alrighty.
Meanwhile, over on track 1, second half has started 104-77. Victoria in the lead. Whistle going off just before halftime rolls in. And we got Boudicca jamming for the Vancouver Murder, Derby Monster for the Twin City Terrors.
And Derby Monster out of the pack. As is Boudicca. Boudicca picking up 4 points. Looking back with his hands ready. And there you go. The morale-destroying calling of the jam just as the opposing jammer gets to the pack.
Exactly, and that takes us to halftime despite what the period clock said, and it will be a 500-minute halftime.
Wow, we will see you in 4 years. I can't do the math, but...
It's a long time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Look at that.
Oh, man, I thought I got a nap.
I'm Tristan Dish, and this is Ivana Spankin, and we're here to tell you about Sin City Skates. Sin City Skates began in our Las Vegas living room in 2005, the first shop ever dedicated to roller derby, and has since grown into this 2,000 square foot mecca in San Diego, where we stock everything for our sport. Need help? With a combined on-track experience of over 24 years and still playing, we test everything we sell, and we're happy to share that experience and knowledge with you. So contact us, sincityskates.com.
Hi folks, Scald Eagle here. Have you had a chance to take a look at the new Bonk Quadstar skate? The boots are ultra lightweight with no break-in period and are great for skaters with skinnier ankles. They also have a 100% Australian full-grain leather outer and a completely heat-moldable hand-laid fiberglass base. Get that premium performance without the premium price tag. Boom. Come over to the Bonk booth right now and check out this rad new skate.
clear path through the pack almost never exists. So we fight and make our own.
Roller Derby Athletics takes the guesswork out of off-skate training, helping you become safe, strong, and unstoppable. Here's what skaters from around the world are saying.
Lots of great advice and things that helped me after I broke my ankle and had
I've lost 90 pounds and discovered my A game.
Love that site.
And the
rehab
workouts.
has been amazing. It's really worth the investment in her
Booty Quake
programs.
rocks. You won't regret the investment.
Want to see for yourself? Sign up today for our free Basics Builder program and transform your game with Roller Derby Athletics.
A lot of very impressive people in roller derby.
This was definitely a proud moment for me, wearing the black, white, and red.
I care about this thing more than I care about any other article of clothing in my wardrobe.
This represents to me like 7 years of blood, sweat, and tears.
Glitter is fun and hardcore. I've learned that it's hardcore.
My uniform is always in pristine condition.
My truck is purple, my shoes are purple, my underwear are purple.
It takes a lot of drive and a lot of passion to keep going in roller derby.
Sometimes when you play roller derby, you're just kind of like, why am I doing this? This is so weird.
I just can't imagine that I'd get more kicks like playing golf than I do hitting a you know? Feels good.
My name is Rachel Rotten.
My name is Midge Wilhelm.
I'm Fifi Nomenon.
I'm Jackie Daniels.
My name's Steph Maney.
Hi, I'm Scald Eagle.
And S1.
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 And S1 is part of my uniform.
The Arius Platinum is packed with new features. Reinforced toe section. Increased toe stop clamping power. Winged truck with split cushion design for easy assembly and installation. The new Arius Platinum, performance redefined.
Hey, this is Dan from S1 Helmets. We're in the testing lab today testing helmets to see if they pass the multiple impact certification test. We're going to be testing 3 helmets today. There's a soft foam helmet with EVA foam and a terry cloth liner. There's a hockey helmet with triple density EVA foam. The S1 Lifer helmet with EPS fusion foam. All 3 of these helmets are marketed as multiple impact helmets. We're going to test all of them today and see which ones actually pass the test. The multiple impact test is when we drop a helmet to achieve a velocity of 4.57 meters per second. This simulates a 10-mile-an-hour impact or a 4-foot drop. The same helmet is tested 3 times in the same location. The helmet must reduce the energy pulse to under 300 Gs each time. Anything over 300 Gs can result in a traumatic brain injury or a severe concussion. In summary, the soft foam helmet with EVA foam and the hockey helmet with triple density foam did not pass the multiple impact test. The S1 Lifer helmet with EPS fusion foam did pass the multiple impact test.
At Roller Derby Athletics, we take the guesswork out of off-skate training so you can focus on being fierce. We help you transform your game without a lot of time or equipment. With 5 training programs plus all-star memberships, there's an option to suit every athlete. And we train skaters worldwide with high-quality video instruction and online support. At Roller Derby Athletics, we empower you to be safe, strong, and unstoppable. Want to see for yourself? Sign up today for our free Basics Builder program.
Hi, Ivana Spankin and Trish the Dish here to tell you about Sin City Skates. Sin City Skates began in our living room in 2005 and has since grown into this 2,000 square foot warehouse and showroom where we stock everything for derby. If it's derby related, we probably have it. Need help? With a combined on-track derby experience of over 24 years and still playing, we test everything we sell and we know the difference between facts and our opinions. We're always happy to share both with you to help you make the right decisions. So call us, SinCitySkates.com.
I love teamwork when it comes naturally, and it's almost like your teammate is an extension of your own body. That anticipation, where you've worked cerebrally through strategy and skills, and suddenly you're out there in a game and it all comes naturally because you know each other. I love that.
Check, check, check. Okay, here we are for the second half of this game. Vancouver Murder, Twin Cities Terrors. Just waiting for everything to get sorted out. Head ref chatting with the coaches. One in the penalty box to start this first jam of the second half. That looks like Small's line out there with the pivot on. If you're watching or listening and paying attention to ESPN3, Scald Eagle just fouled out with her 7th penalty as a jammer out there. I don't have the score on me anymore as I'm not live feeding it. Yeah, the cheer that they're saying is quite interesting. I will not repeat it on the internets. And here we go, the 5-second warning being given. And the jam starts. Mr. Testosterone going up against Fire Wally. Mr. T dancing around and picking up lead for Vancouver. Fire Wally trying to get into the pack. He's only got stand aside to fight against. But Mr. T making easy work of the blocking. As he pops through, picks up 5 points and laps Fire Wally. No pass, no penalty on Fire Wally. He is through the pack, though, and out. And Mr. T calls off the jam after picking up 4 points. Equipment parts flying all over the place. Baron Von Beans losing his kneecap cover on his safety equipment. And on the line, we've got Lodge and Derby Monster getting ready to start this next jam with one in the box for Vancouver, Gordon Walker. And we're off. Lodge and Derby Monster going. Derby Monster playing a little bit of defense as his team knocks out Lodge. And Lodge picking up a cut in the track penalty as he was knocked out and drawn back, but did not see his number 3 blocker that had put him out, and he cut that person. And Derby Monster is out in front with lead. And a power jam situation for Minnesota. And Walker jumping the apex to join his teammates to make that 4-wall and set up for the incoming jammer. Derby Monster pushing through. Svensson knocking him. Zimmer knocking him out. Zimmer last line of defense. Not heavy enough to slow him down as he picks up 5 in the sky. 5 points going to the Twin Cities Terrors. Derby Monster back in for another scoring pass as Lodge is going to make his way through on his initial should he get through the pack. Gets knocked down and out and brought back by Carl Marksman. Derby Monster at the front, knocked out, and instead of skating back, he just calls off the jam. He's going to give the opportunity to another one of his teammates, Merlin, heading to the line with the star for Minnesota. Kremley up there for Vancouver. On the line, it looks like a forward start for both teams, moving up to the pivot line. Both jammers getting a little bit of speed in as they head into the pack. Kremley seeing the inside line, and ouch, players falling everywhere. Kremley out with lead as Merlin gets knocked out and recycled. Tischborn at the back trying to slow him down. Kremley takes that outside line, ducks low, which is what he's good at, and puts 5 up on the board for Vancouver Murder. Vancouver Murder holding back one of the blockers as Kremley makes easy work of the apex, jumps it, gets his points, 4 of them, and calls off the jam, keeping Merlin from adding anything to their score. 184 Vancouver Murder, 33 Twin Cities Terrors. Head ref reminding the players to keep things calm. Let's not get a little too agitated. We don't want any extra penalties or hits after the whistle. On the line, Mimero up against Fire Wally. Mimero staying in bounds on the line. And he gets out, but he gets a no pass, no penalty on that last hit and will not have lead. Lead is going to go to number 404, Fire Wally, who is back out on the track. As Mimero gets knocked out and recycled. And Fire Wally up into the front defensive wall of Vancouver, who are about to get a multiplayer block. Thretzky heading off on that one, 1-1-1. Gordon Walker gonna get a low block and head to the penalty box as Nelson is the last line to deal with Fire Wally as he pops through. And Fire Wally getting through, picking up 5 points on that pass. Mimero still fighting at the front. Again, not with lead, so Fire Wally controlling this jam should he need to, as Mimero does a great crab walk to take the apex and pop through for 4 points. And jam called off by Fire Wally. Derby Monster gonna line up for the Minnesota's Twin Cities Terrors. No jammer out there yet for Vancouver. A full penalty box, however, for Vancouver, and Vancouver taking a timeout.
How are you?
I am well.
So I'm just going to get myself caught up here for a second.
So while we've got this timeout, don't forget, we got DJ Agent Meow in town. He's going to be bringing the after party. Actually, he's going to be at the after party, but he's also going to be bringing up the party and heading up an incredible crew of DJs over on track 1. If you haven't been over there, the music that they're playing is pretty awesome with some incredible flashback stuff. But yes, DJ Meow will be at tomorrow night's 21 plus after party at the Wayward Lamb at 9 p.m. Be sure to make it out to that.
I think it's still safe to say that he will be bringing the after party.
I mean, he is.
He's bringing the party to track 1 already.
He is. Don't forget to get your raffle tickets. That's a big thing. There's some pretty cool prizes out there at the raffle. It's only $1 a ticket. If you buy 20, you get 10 free. And there's all kinds of prizes. As I mentioned earlier, I won the $200 gift certificate for Sin City Skates last year and had a great time spending that money. That wasn't mine, so.
What did you buy?
I bought wheels and stuff. I mean, once you have a bunch of derby stuff, unless it breaks, you really don't have much to purchase.
I find it's all socks.
I was going to buy some 187 wrist guards.
Yeah.
But I had a broken set, and the 187 reps were there and noticed that they were broken. So they gave me a free set. So I saved X amount of dollars on that.
That's a fantastic job for a 187 there, too.
Yeah. Okay, we're checking. We got a little bit of an official timeout going on after that timeout to sort out numbers and penalties and stuff. I don't know. There's people in pink shirts with paperwork talking to people in white and black shirts.
This is just generally what I like to call rules. There are rules happening right now.
That sounds legit. I mean, then those rules give us a great chance to take a look at what's going on out in the world. And Victorian and Rose City are out on track 1. I do not have a score update on that, but I do know that the main jammer for Rose City fouled out, number 50. You may recognize that number.
Scald Eagle?
That is correct. She has fouled out. I watched her walk through the atrium right before the second half started.
Or as I like to say, promoted to fan.
She is, she fouled out. Didn't look too happy about it, but either. Of course, I'm not aware of what the game was doing, so I'm not sure how that worked out. Right now, our penalty situation here is with 3 Vancouver Murder in the box. No one is really near fouling out yet, from what I can understand. If I pay close attention, I don't have the list in front of me, but I know Walker's been there a couple times. You might have seen Threatsky in there a couple times. Testosterone, as a jammer, has been there once. But the penalty situation, not too bad for the Vancouver side. The Terrors maybe closing in a little more on the penalties. With no stats in front of me, I can make some up, though.
Yeah, let's do it.
100% of the stats are made up right now.
100% of the next information we are telling you is false, but it will be entertaining. So it looks like we definitely are going to start this next jam with the TC Terrors with a full set of blockers on the track, which is going to make it a little bit harder for Mr. Testosterone.
He has had almost a 100%, if not a 100% success rate at getting lead as so far in the first half.
Oh, I like that.
So he's very successful at getting lead for his team. And we will expect, well, he hopes that we'll expect to see that again on this next jam.
That's a lot of pressure. No pressure.
Oh, pressure doesn't affect testosterone.
Nice.
Bad hair affects testosterone. And we're off. He tries to knock out the Minnesota jammer. He gets knocked out of bounds, and look at that. We may have jinxed him, but first lead is going to go to Derby Monster and the Minnesota team as Testosterone finally makes his way through on his initial pass. Derby Monster going to dance around the Vancouver defense. Of course, only 2 of them out there right now. And Threatsky back out on the track, goes right back into the penalty box. Testosterone jumps
Beautiful.
The apex, picks up 4 points.
Yeah, beautiful jump there for Testosterone, able to pull in those 4 points as Derby Monster also gets 4 points and calls off the jam. So that is going to bring Twin City Terrors up to 50 points. Vancouver Murder still in the lead at 192.
And with 2 in the box, Vancouver's going to have a disadvantage on the start of this jam.
Again.
4 on the track for Twin Cities Terrors. We'll see if Merlin can take advantage of this and get lead over Lodge, who is out there with the star for Vancouver.
Well, you know, he is a wizard.
Let's see what kind of magic he can do.
Lodge doing a nice push there as he tries to work his way through to the front of the pack. Lodge just has one more jam blocker to get through, and that is Lodge for Vancouver Mooter as your lead jammer. Merlin did take a bit of a hit to the inside, so he's still trying to make his way through.
And Merlin looking for that hole to get through. Unable to beat that Vancouver wall. A little bit of offense helping him out, but not able to get past Zimmer as he's removed his helmet cover, getting ready to pass it and or stash it. Zimmer once again slowing him down, and Svensson knocking him out.
Lodge takes a big hit, projecting him forward into the pack there as he gets up and tries to complete that final pass. Tries to get past Baron Von Beans, and he does. 5 more points here for Lodge.
And a low block being issued to 478 Matterhorn, as Lodge did get launched into the pack, but tripped over a Minnesota skate as it was done. And Lodge looking for that hole, unable to get that inside line because Carl Marksman did some great footwork, and put his leg out in a legal blocking zone so as not to cause a low block, but to block him out of bounds. And there we go. Merlin through the pack, puts his helmet cover back on, but Lodge calling it off before he can make his way in for any points.
So that was a nice 13-point jam there for Lodge, bringing the Vancouver Murder up to 205 points. The Twin City Terrors in at 50.
And Mimero out on the line, getting ready to do the deed for Vancouver as Fire Wally lines up for Minnesota. Both jammers taking strategic looks at where they're going to go. Both of them into the pack. Gordon Walker locking down on Fire Wally, slowing him down. Fire Wally juking to the right as Mimero just powers his way through and gets lead for Vancouver.
Just a couple of blockers left for Fire Wally to get past. He does eventually get past those, and he's also in a scoring position. To the inside line, Mimero has come out. It looks like he is going to call it off.
Yeah, Mimero not catching everybody yelling at him. Managed to let one slip through as Gordon Walker even did the hand sign for calling it off as he was trying to get his attention. But one slipped through and 1 point up on the board for Minnesota.
I just want to say a big hi here to the coaching team for the Vancouver Murder, and I really enjoy your Canadian tuxedos that you have going on today as well, too, as I am also employing a Canadian tuxedo.
And Boudicca on the line for Vancouver, pushing against a very tough wall this time around. And it looks like Derby Monster is out there with the star again for Minnesota. And pushes through and gets lead for Minnesota. Derby Monster with lead.
Our Vancouver Murder jammer right out of the pack as well, too. I'm going to put on some jets here to see if he's going to be able to catch up to Derby Monster.
Oh, look at this pack speed.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Double zeros laying each other out there.
What's going on, Bennett? There you go. As he calls it off, puts Bennett down on his back. No injury, gets up, gets ready to do it again. On the line, Mr. Testosterone and Fire Wally once again. Mr. T, what's going? Yeah, you. Look at that beard. I tell you, those eyes, they're so dreamy. Mr. T loves when you talk about him on the mic, just so you know.
He's got testosterone in the name. He's got the big beard going on.
His lovely lady friend, Mrs. Testosterone, over on the track side watching. She plays out of Prince George up in British Columbia, Canada.
Fantastic work there. Testosterone is out of the pack, and your lead jammer here for the Vancouver Murder.
Gordon Walker doing a great job knocking out Fire Wally once again, and then leaping a little bit over the apex to take him all the way back. As Mr. T makes his way through the pack, puts 4 up in the air. And Fire Wally might have, not sure, judging by the aggressiveness on this pivot, I'm going to say that Sampson has the star in his hand and has taken the star pass from Fire Wally.
Oh no, we've got a jammer penalty as Mr. Testosterone.
Skating out of bounds penalty.
Is it a skating out of bounds?
Testosterone.
Mr. Testosterone on his way to the penalty box, which does leave Samson now for Minnesota as your jammer on the track. Samson still trying to get past that wall of red. The Vancouver Murder have all of the blockers on the track right now, so it is not going to be easy for him. They're doing a great job of the penalty kill.
Yeah, Walker getting a little clip of the helmet on there. Is going to get a blocker with a head penalty. He's going to head to the penalty box. And finally, Samson through the pack.
Yeah, Samson able to make it.
He should have caught some points on that, or is that his initial finally?
That was the initial pass.
Wow. The track had moved so much, I thought we had gotten through and got some points. There you go. There's the points he was looking for.
Mr. Testosterone is out of the penalty box, but it looks like he is on his way back to the penalty box.
Let's see, misconduct. And a misconduct penalty assessed on Mr. T. I didn't quite see the hit, but he is gone for that. And 4 points go up on the board. Twin Cities Terrors matching. Even with 2 penalties, Mr. T managed to pick up 8 in the beginning.
But
and 0 on that last pass, but 8 going to Twin Cities Terrors.
Derby Monster is going to be the jammer who is going to take this power start here for the TC Terrors.
Only 2 Vancouver blockers to deal with. Karl Mark's been trying to do some offense for him.
Oh, those Vancouver blockers doing a great job. They do eventually have to let him go, but he does get knocked to the inside just as they release him.
And stand aside, heading to the penalty box for a multiplayer block.
Tichborne up at the front of the pack doing some final blocking over here. And it is Derby Monster who is your lead jammer for the Minnesota TC Terrors.
Mr. Testosterone back out on the track as Derby Monster gets knocked out. And he will call it off to lock down those points that he has picked up. He picked up 2 on that pass. 2 is better than 0.
100%. 200% really better than 0.
Well, can you be anything more? Yeah, I suppose. So track 3's game just finishing up. It sounded very energetic, judging by the fans. It was a close game, not too far between the 2 teams. Back out here, we've got both jammers on the track. Finally, Lodge going up against Merlin. Lodge seeing the inside line. Whoa! Ooh. And picking up lead for Vancouver as he dodged an incredibly big hit.
Yeah, that was Smalls that threw in a big hit there for the TC Terror. Not able to quite land it there, and Lodge was able to get through as your lead jammer. And looks like he's going to get some points and call it off. 1 point in there for Lodge. It is 2:18 Vancouver Murder, 62 Twin City Terrors. We've got 14:46 left on the jam clock.
And Kremley lining up against Slamride Jack for this next jam. The penalty box is empty.
Nice.
And we're off.
Both of our jammers with a strong start. TC Terror's jammer tries to pull around in the middle. He does find Tichborne there. Kramley getting pulled way back here by Smashelhoff.
Slamride Jack having no success up front against that Vancouver Murder. You'll notice they do a sort of a sausage defense. They line up one behind the other and just recycle and just waterfall that jammer and lock them down.
We've got a bit of a scrum going on here as everybody is caught up. The Vancouver Murder jammer making a bit of a break to the front.
I heard a whistle, but penalty only assessed to a blocker. That's Tichborne. I was expecting to see maybe a cut track or something like that, but no. There we go. We've got our lead jammer, and that's Kremley Budakara for Vancouver. And Slamride Jack just gets recycled over and over. Karl Mark's been getting knocked down and out. Looks to be in a little bit of pain as he regroups and gets in to knock down Bennett. to keep his jammer on the move as Slam Right Jack goes up against Stand Aside. Oh, Zimmer knocking him down and out, and then Zimmer getting repaid for that hit.
It was a nice fall small, though.
Carl Marksman. No, that's not Carl Marksman. That is Baron Von Beans that got knocked down this time. Some solid hits, and he got knocked down so hard he lost his pivot.
Yeah, exactly. The pivot hat got knocked right off of him there. So it looks like that is going to be 5 more points here for the Vancouver Murder, bringing them up to 223.
Okay, up next on the line, Derby Monster, Mimero. Nobody in the penalty box once again. This will be a 4-on-4 blocking situation for these jammers to tee up with. Mimero starting nice and far back. Gets right into the back of Derby Monster and then right into the pack and starts pushing everybody forward. Knocked out by Smalls, but Smalls going out himself, and that allows Mimero to walk through, and he sees the inside line, gets through, picks up lead.
Yeah, nice work on the inside line there. We've got another penalty here for the Vancouver Murder as Walker heading back to the penalty box. You know, the beards are throwing me off, I got to admit. I'm like, oh, that's Walker.
I can tell the difference between Walker and Tichborne.
Tichborne's a little bit larger with the beard.
As bearded as they are, it's easy to tell the difference between Walker and Tichborne. I'm going to go on a wild guess that the Rose City game is over, judging by the amount of people I see walking from over there.
I hope everybody's coming over to this track next, as we are going to have Helsinki versus Rat here on track number 2, which is going to be one fantastic game.
And the final score on the Victoria Rose City game, Victoria taking the win, 150 to Rose City's 138. They're over there right now shaking hands, high-fiving.
Wow.
That's how you do her. And right here, we are waiting on a timeout that was called by Minnesota. So we'll take the opportunity to remind everybody that tonight, oh yeah, there's an 80s dance party tonight at the Blair Alley Arcade at 10 p.m. There's no cover. And it's an arcade, not just a dance party, but there are pinball machines and arcade machines there.
Like, seriously, if they're playing 80s music and they have a Tetris, that is pretty much everything to me. Bon Jovi and Tetris.
Ostentatious out of the Puget Sound Outcast is like a Tetris god or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, if you have a chance to talk to him.
I don't know. I did have Tetris high score in my town for 3 years, so
wow.
I think this is a challenge.
The master. He is a grandmaster Tetris level 3 genie or something of that sort.
Well, then I challenge you.
Mr. Testosterone out on the line. Fire Wally with him. Tichborne in the penalty box. Not Gordon Walker. Because you look like Gordon Walker. You've got the same beard, but it's grayer.
Oh.
Well, Gordon's like 11 years old. Come on. And he's sitting over in the stand, so I want to say that Gordon fouled out.
I was going to say promoted to fan, Gordon Walker.
Testosterone is through the pack with lead for Vancouver.
We still have Fire Wally trying to get through our pack here. We've got a strong wall of Vancouver Murder at the front, but it looks like we had ourselves a star pass there, and that is now going to be Merlin as your jammer here for Minnesota.
And Testosterone through the pack picks up 4 points, calls off the jam. OPRs are going to discuss a potential penalty being issued. A little bit of a chat. And no penalty being issued. There we go. That's just how it's done. So welcome everybody from track 1. You are here at track 2 watching Vancouver Murder against Twin Cities Terrors. 10 minutes left in this game. An amazing game as it is. The score might not reflect that, but the hard work by both teams is just stupendous. Minnesota with some great walls as the jammer Lodge takes the lead for Vancouver Murder.
And a nice push here by our Minnesota jammer. That is Derby Monster, also out of the pack. Lodge takes a hit to the outside. Recycles himself back. No penalties there. Lodge gets to the front of the pack. Looks like he's going to keep going because we've got a forearm penalty call here on Derby Monster.
This will be a power jam for Lodge and the Vancouver Murder. as Zimmer was launched into the air with a little bit of an extra arm as Derby Monster hit him, and that's what earned him the forearm penalty.
So that's 5 points on the board for Lodge as he makes his way around the track again. Our Minnesota Terror blockers setting up at the front of the pack, waiting for Lodge to come back in.
Lodge dances through, hits his hips, calls off the jam as he adds 5 more on the board, 2 going to the Twin Cities Terrors. So Vancouver winning that jam 8-2.
Vancouver Murder is going to be able to get a power start here, but we do have Derby Monster standing in the penalty box, so it's not going to be that much of a head start. We're going to see how it looks like they're going to take it by playing to the front line. Mr. Testosterone is going to be your jammer that is going to take this for the Vancouver Murder.
And a last-second switch on the line for Minnesota.
Some nice clearing there by our Vancouver team, and Mr. Testosterone is out as your lead jammer. Calls a little there to his lady love.
He always blows her a kiss. He has never blown me a kiss as he goes by.
I don't know why.
And he gets pushed, but not out, and survives. Pops through the pack for 5 in the sky.
Yeah, that was some spinnerific moves that he did there.
And Tichborne / Gordon Walker heads to the penalty box.
This time, Tichborne, you did do it.
Derby Monster out there with his last line of defense of Vancouver, his stand aside, which of course waterfalls into Bennett, and unfortunately picks him up a cutting the track penalty.
That was a big hit
Mr.
there.
T picks up 5.
Yeah, Jamadim tried to do a big hit there to Mr. Testosterone as he came around the pack there. Not quite able to land that as Mr. Testosterone able to keep on going, coming into the pack for another scoring pass.
Karl Marksman trying to slow him down, and he does. Not before he picks up 5 points and calls off the jam, locking down Derby Monster in the penalty box.
Again, Derby Monster standing in that penalty box. I think we have an official timeout.
An official timeout, that's right. Chance to read some of the stuff off these sheets of paper.
Don't forget about the men's MVP versus Team USA, as the MRDA teams will vote on one MVP blocker and jammer from the opposing team for each game played. And these MVPs will play against Team USA men during a half-hour exhibition bout on Sunday night at 8 p.m. So if you are enjoying the men's action you were seeing on the track, you are going to see more men at 8 o'clock on Sunday night.
Yes, tomorrow night we'll have both MVP games. Of course, Team USA women's and men's are kicking around. Obviously, with the amount of teams we have here, it's not too hard to put together a bunch of high-level Team USA people with the size of the Team USA as it is. And we expect to see that tomorrow evening. So it should be some great fun. MVPs from every team will be represented on the track, and they'll have nice shirts made up for them and everything, which is why
that's amazing.
The paperwork has to get in as soon as you can, coaches. If you have an MVP ballot in your possession as a coach, please fill it out and take it to the box over here between track 2 and 3. And while we're waiting for this official timeout to finish, I'd like to take some time to say thanks to all the volunteers and officials that are here. The officials room in the back is just jam-packed full of white and black stuff that smells really bad because there's so many officials working this tournament, and we'd like to say thank you to them.
Yeah, you would not even believe the amount of officials that it takes to put on a 3-track tournament. So thank you so much to everybody for putting in their time and coming out to make this tournament such a fantastic success that it always is.
And on the track, we've got Mimero out there jamming for Vancouver. Derby Monster, again for Minnesota, finally coming out of the penalty box. No lead has been issued until I say that, and now it has. Mimero with lead for Vancouver, as Derby Monster is just hammering his way through, but he's going up against Nelson and Zimmer, who are slowing him right down, popping him out, and bringing him back.
Yeah, Derby Monster getting recycled to the back of the pack, but Mimero has decided that is enough points for him right now. That is 5 more points for the Vancouver Murder. Our clock just has 6 minutes left on it here as we are rolling down 262 to 64 for the Twin City Terrors.
And watching Mimero call off the jam, he realized that the other jammer was still on his initial. and realized his mistake as he tapped his hips. Looked over at the coach, who of course gave him that "you know what you did" look. But that's okay, because they're leading 262 to 64. They can allow a mistake or two. And Kremley out on the track with the star now.
That is Smalls out there for the Twin City Terrors and Budakra.
And Smalls with his first star of the day, of this game rather, jamming for Minnesota, hoping to hop around, but he can't. And Kremley picks up lead for Vancouver.
Yeah, Small's a bit of an ironic name, I'm guessing. Oh, nice little jump there for Budakra. That is going to be 5 points on the board for Vancouver Murder.
And Smalls is getting played with by Standeside. Standeside getting nice and low. Nice steady position, getting backed up by Bennett. Putting Smalls into the corner and just not letting him through. Oh, he sidesteps both of them. But they just recycle around to the front and say, let's do this again.
Back up against Standeside. Standeside gets him hit out there with a little hit from Russian Destruction.
Budakra making a apex jump attempt, unsure if he landed or not. Doesn't take any chance and crawls across the track so that he can get back on, as Smalls is sent to the inside by Standeside and the Vancouver team.
Lots of action going up on the front of our track. We are going to get our Vancouver Murder jammer recycled way back here by number 31. Jam it, Dim.
Smalls getting some cheers from the crowd. As surprisingly enough, he picks up a high block.
That is really surprising,
second. You have to
actually.
get down really low when you're that tall to manage to pick up a high block. And he does, and he's going to sit, and that's going to be a power start for Lodge with the star on for the next jam.
We've just got 4 minutes left on our clock here with the Vancouver Murder and the Twin City Terrors. This is another Vancouver versus Minnesota match. We did have one earlier this morning with our women as well, so nice to see both of the teams being able to play. We do have Lodge now as your lead jammer here for Vancouver Murder.
And a fun little moment there on the bench, watching Mr. Testosterone give Smalls a little pep talk as he sits down. He's like, you can do this, just keep pushing. And Smalls is ready and waiting to prove it that he can do it. He's going to hit the track as soon as he can once he's released from the penalty box. And Mr. T is going to be out there as his jammer counterpart. Both teams with forward blockers out on the track.
Smalls is standing in that penalty box. Mr. Testosterone does have a wee bit of a power start, but it's not going to be that long.
And Derby Monster trying to get some tips, asking Mr. T where he's going to go.
So it's always good to ask.
Mr. T, he lied to him. He said he was going to go right, but he went left.
Or maybe he did say that he was going to go left, and they were like, maybe he's not going to, but he did.
But Mr. T is out with the lead, and he's going to draw everyone over to the right, go right into the middle, do that spinorama move that is so popular these days with those kids.
The spinorama?
Yes. His spinability is very high.
Spinability, hashtag.
And he is through the pack, and he will pick up 5 points. Look at that. Derby Monster has the star for Minnesota, and Mr. T's just not going to let him do anything with it.
Yeah,
Falls
probably
off
a
the
good idea
jam.
not to give Derby Monster an inch there, because he's definitely going to try to take it.
Mimero lining up against Merlin for this next jam.
Vancouver Murder in at 285, Twin City Terrors 64. Just 2 minutes left on our game clock. Definitely going to get at least another couple of jams out of this game.
And we're waiting for a little clock adjustment. Or, there we go. That was like one of those 30 seconds that seemed to go on forever.
Seemed like really long.
And there we go, and we are started on this Jam 21 of the Vancouver Murder Twin Cities Terrors game. And Merlin is jamming for the Twin Cities Terrors, as is Mimero for Vancouver. And Merlin has popped out of the pack and ramping up the crowd with a lead jam
That was some wizard powers there as Merlin is your lead jammer. With your cheers, he is going to use that power to move his way up to the front of the pack. Our Vancouver Murder Blockers doing a nice job up there, and we do have their jammer out of the pack now and into a scoring position, but it is, of course, Merlin who is in the scoring, and that is going to be, yeah, nice. 5 big points here for Merlin. That brings Merlin and Twin City Terrors up to 69 points. We've just got 48 seconds left on our game clock. That is definitely going to give us at least one more jam.
Okay, and on that jam, it looks like we're going to have Lodge lining up against Derby Monster. We have some handshaking going on out there.
Because Derby is about congeniality.
I tell you, it is. It's all about friendliness and crushing your opponent.
But in a happy way. Lodge tries to make a move to the outside.
Lodge is through. He will pick up lead for this Vancouver Murder. I would almost say last jam. We'll see how it goes down, but judging by the clock, that's what's going to happen.
Coaches are going to have to be fast on the track if we're going to get another one in here, but Lodge gets a hit to the outside. We still have our, cutting the track here for Lodge, which means we are going to have a 2-minute jam. We've got at least another 1:22 left on our jam clock, Minnesota fans. This is where we need you.
And the Derby bench, correction, the Twin Cities bench cheering on Derby Monster.
Yeah, Derby Monster trying to push his way up through to the front of the pack again. We are playing the last 2 minutes of this. Everybody trying to get Derby Monster here. Derby Monster does get recycled back.
A great bit of offense by the Minnesota men's, but then the Vancouver Jammers that are left, blockers that are left over, brought him back and recycled him, but he still managed to sneak through, removed his cover, but still popped through the pack. Gets no points on that pass, though.
That was his initial pass here, so now both of our jammers in a scoring position. Lodge is out of the penalty box and has himself 5 points here. 5 in the sky for Lodge.
And it looks like they're going to play this jam out till the end with 15 seconds left. That seems just appropriate. Everybody came paid to watch some Derby. Let's play some Derby. And Lodge jumps the inside line. A whistle blew, but no penalty to him. He'll put 4 more on the 4 more on the score. Unable to crack that 300 mark that I imagine was their goal to attain.
Yeah, so close to 300 there, but with all of the points on the board, our unofficial final leads us with Vancouver Murder with 294. The Twin City Terrors with 73. That was one fantastic game of roller derby that you are going to see tonight. If you would like to see some more men's roller derby, St. Louis versus Portland at 8 o'clock on track 1, and Lane County versus Denver on track 3. The next thing you will see on this track is going to be Helsinki versus Rat, which is going to be amazing.
Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you later. Have a good day.
Roller Derby Athletics takes the guesswork out of off-skate training, helping you become safe, strong, and unstoppable. Here's what skaters from around the world are saying.
Lots of great advice and things that helped me after I broke my ankle and had
I've lost 90 pounds and discovered my A game.
Love that site and the workouts.
Rehab
has been amazing. It's really worth the investment in her
Booty
programs.
Quake rocks. You won't regret the investment.
Want to see for yourself? Sign up today for our free Basics Builder program and transform your game with Roller Derby Athletics.
A lot of very impressive people in roller derby.
This was definitely a proud moment for me, wearing the black, white, and red.
I care about this thing more than I care about any other article of clothing in my wardrobe.
This represents to me like 7 years of like, blood, sweat, and tears.
Glitter is fun and hardcore. I've learned that it's hardcore.
My uniform is always in pristine condition.
My truck is purple, my shoes are purple, my underwear are purple.
Takes a lot of drive and a lot of passion to keep going in roller derby.
Sometimes when you play roller derby, you're just kind of like, why am I doing this? This is so weird.
I just can't imagine that I'd get more kicks like playing golf than I do hitting a Feels good.
My name is Rachel Rotten.
My name is Midge Wilhelm.
I'm Fifi Nomenon.
I'm Jackie Daniels.
My name's Steph Maney.
Hi, I'm Scald Eagle.
And S1.
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 And S1 is part of my uniform.
The Arius Platinum is packed with new features. Reinforced toe section. Increased toe stop clamping power. Winged truck with split cushion design for easy assembly and installation. The new Arius Platinum, performance redefined.
Hey, this is Dan from S1 Helmets. We're in the testing lab today testing helmets to see if they pass the multiple impact certification test. We're going to be testing 3 helmets today. There's a soft foam helmet with EVA foam and a terry cloth liner. There's a hockey helmet with triple density EVA foam. The S1 Lifer helmet with EPS fusion foam. All 3 of these helmets are marketed as multiple impact helmets. We're going to test all of them today and see which ones actually pass the test. The multiple impact test is when we drop a helmet to achieve a velocity of 4.57 meters per second. This simulates a 10-mile-an-hour impact or a 4-foot drop. The same helmet is tested 3 times in the same location. The helmet must reduce the energy pulse to under 300 Gs each time. Anything over 300 Gs can result in a traumatic brain injury or a severe concussion. In summary, the soft foam helmet with EVA foam and the hockey helmet with triple density foam did not pass the multiple impact test. The S1 Lifer helmet with EPS fusion foam did pass the multiple impact test.
At Roller Derby Athletics, we take the guesswork out of off-skate training so you can focus on being fierce. We help you transform your game without a lot of time or equipment. With 5 training programs plus all-star memberships, there's an option to suit every athlete. And we train skaters worldwide with high-quality video instruction and online support. At Roller Derby Athletics, we empower you to be safe, strong, and unstoppable. Want to see for yourself? Sign up today for our free Basics Builder program.
Hi, Ivana Spankin and Trish the Dish here to tell you about Sin City Skates. Sin City Skates began in our living room in 2005 and has since grown into this 2,000 square foot warehouse and showroom where we stock everything for derby. If it's derby related, we probably have it. Need help? With a combined on-track derby experience of over 24 years and still playing, we test everything we sell and we know the difference between facts and our opinions. We're always happy to share both with you to help you make the right decisions. So call us, sincityskates.com.
I love teamwork when it comes naturally, and it's almost like your teammate is an extension of your own body. That anticipation, where you've worked cerebrally through strategy and skills, and suddenly you're out there in a game and it all comes naturally because you know each other. I love that.
So when I first went into Fast Girl Skates, it was like being a kid in a candy
I skate
shop.
on the Antic AR1 boot with Crazy Venus plates and Adam D-Rod wheels.
As I've grown as a skater, Fast Girl has also helped my skates to grow with me.
What's your favorite thing that you got at the store?
Probably my gear. I'm Doubled Megs, and I'm a Fast Girl.
I'm Vex Factor, and I'm a fast girl.
I'm a Salted Peanut, and I'm a Fast Girl. I'm Afro Jamai, and I'm a Fast Girl.
You can be a fast girl too.
Skaters, lost your mouth guard? Hit this. Time for an upgrade? Hit this. New to Derby and not sure where to start? Hit this. We are Derby owned and operated with 6 years of experience. Hit This Derby Gear can hook you up with skates, gear, and honest advice based on your skating style and individual needs. Visit us at our store in Salem, Oregon, or online at www.hitthisderbygear.com. Whether you are a new or veteran skater, before you hit the track, hit this.
Hi, I'm Trish the Dish, and this is Ivana S. Spankin, and we're here to tell you about Sin City Skates. Sin City Skates began in our Las Vegas living room in 2005, the first shop ever dedicated to roller derby, and has since grown into this 2,000 square foot mecca in San Diego, where we stock everything for our sport. Need help? With a combined on-track experience of over 24 years and still playing, we test everything we sell, and we're happy to share that experience and knowledge with you. So contact us, sincityskates.com.
Hi folks, Scald Eagle here. Have you had a chance to take a look at the new Bonk Quadstar skate? The boots are ultra lightweight with no break-in period and are great for skaters with skinnier ankles. They also have a 100% Australian full-grain leather outer and a completely heat-moldable hand-laid fiberglass base. Get that premium performance without the premium price tag. Boom. Come over to the Bonk booth right now and check out this rad new skate.
A clear path through the pack almost never exists. So we fight and make our own.